Did you know that over 23% of adults in certain traditional societies still believe in the binding power of blood oaths? Rituals where blood is exchanged to seal unbreakable promises? Even in modern communities, whispers of their power linger, as superstition, as fear, as warnings passed from parent to child. But what if breaking such a vow doesn't just risk shame, but unleashes something far more dangerous? Blood oaths are among humanity's oldest rituals, solemn vows etched in flesh, sanctified by pain, and often believed to be spiritually binding. From Norse brotherhoods to African warrior clans, and even secret societies cloaked in modern power, the blood oath has been a symbol of unshakable loyalty and terrifying consequence. But where there is power, there is peril. And the deeper the vow, the darker the fallout when it's broken. While romanticized in fiction, blood oaths carry real-world psychological and sometimes legal consequences. They can trap individuals in abusive relationships, bind them to dangerous missions, or force unbearable choices between love, morality, and identity. Especially when these vows are made young, in grief, pride, or desperation. They can become spiritual shackles, guiding or distorting an entire life. Gary didn't just believe in blood oaths. He lived one. Years ago, Gary's reckless spell, fired in the heat of rivalry, killed the only person who had ever truly cared for him, Gloria. Her death wasn't just a loss, it was a soul-deep fracture. And so, in the blood-soaked mud, beside her body, Gary performed a ritual older than memory. He cut deep. He swore harder. By blood spilled and life taken, I renounce the art. No spell, no charm, no mote of power shall I wield, save only to bring about the final ruin of Vincent. It wasn't metaphor. It was magic. And the magic listened. Years passed. Gary became a man of discipline and silence, a man defined by my restraint. In Ephesus, he earned respect not through power, but presence. He solved crises with reason, mended fields with science, diffused tempers with tact. The villagers saw a wise man. Only Gary knew the truth. He was a prisoner of his own vow, a chain of blood and guilt. Until the Laden came. A dragon of acid and terror descended upon the valley, not seeking gold, but annihilation. As the village burned, Gary did all he could without magic. Organized escapes. Set diversions. But then little Grace, barely 10, tripped in the square. The dragon loomed overhead. Time froze. In that moment, Gary saw Gloria's smile in the terrified girl's face. His heart screamed, "Never again." And the chain snapped. Emerald light erupted from his hands. A shield, pure and defiant, blocked the corrosive breath, just long enough. Gary collapsed, spent, but Grace lived. The villagers cheered. But Gary didn't hear them. He felt it, the violation. He had broken his oath. Not for Vincent, but for love. And in doing so, he had opened a door. As dusk fell, Vincent appeared, or something like him. A phantom woven from guilt and magic's seductive echo. That was impressive, the spectre said. Crude, but potent. How did it feel? Vincent's ghost wasn't real. Not flesh, not spell, but it knew him. It was his oath made manifest. His guilt incarnate. You broke your pretty chain, little wizard. The only barrier between you and the art is gone. What will you do now? How long before you reach for it again? For something less noble? That's the curse of blood oaths. They don't just restrict power, they entwine identity. Break them, and what's left of you might not be whole. Gary's story may be fantasy, but its core truth echoes in the real world. Blood oaths, whether literal or symbolic, can become cages. They bind us to people, to past mistakes, to principles we may one day outgrow. And breaking them, even for noble reasons, comes at a cost of identity, peace, and sometimes sanity. What began as a vow of justice became a life of repression. And in the end, Gary was not freed by breaking the oath, only burdened with a new, more dangerous question. Now that the chain is broken, what will I become? Do you believe in the power of blood oaths, ancient promises that still shape lives today? Have you ever made a vow so deep it defined you? Tell us in the comments. Would you have broken the vow to save grace? Is control more dangerous than power itself? And if you love myth, magic, and moral dilemmas, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more stories exploring the hidden price of ancient beliefs.